You can get there, that's how you've done it by hand. And that's fine. Here's my point. Which one is going to be easier to fix when things get really messy? I think so, and I think that once you understand the modulus operator, I think it is actually quite a bit easier to use. I think that it's a crime that it's brand new for you, because it's one of the really coolest math operators. It's like my favorite underdog math operator. How geeky am I? But the modulus operator can be used here and a lot of other places to really make your life a lot easier.
So really quickly, I know this is backtracking when you had that F12 window popped open and you're going through all of those processes and I totally did not follow like whenever I couldn't quite function there. This modulus is giving me the remainder. So in this case, when we were talking about the 20s, if they gave us 35, we would see what is our answer.
What does this line do? It gives you the remainder.
So it would be 15.
That's what this line does, is it gives you the remainder. Would you agree with that? Now, the only reason that you may be more comfortable with this than that is you've done it this way before. But I would argue that it's a little clunkier than it needs to be. If what you really need is give me the remainder, if you can find a cleaner, prettier way to do it that you can understand, is that maybe worth doing?
Because as a coder, you should always try for the shortest route.
I'm not always shortest, but I like the most elegant. I think there's a difference.
Cleanest.
Cleanest, I like cleanest. At some level, they call us software engineers, and the engineer in me likes that better than that. Yeah? But I'm okay with either one. I'll leave it like that if you want. But are you okay with accepting that these two lines mean exactly the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. Can we move along?
Yes.
I don't want to move on if you're not happy.
Are you happy? I'm happy as.
So we were to test and.
Well, we got a little bit more we have to do before we test, because have we printed any output here?
No.
Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to say result gets, at this point it's just going to be a new thing. Result gets 20s, and then we're going to add how many 20s? And then I'm going to add, because I'm lazy, a BR tag.
What does BR mean?
BR is a line break in HTML, so put a carriage return in there. Okay, I'm going to take this out of here because I think really, regardless of what happened in our if statement, we're going to have a result. Would you agree? And so I'm going to put that down here after the end if. Did I create a variable for the output? No, it doesn't look like I did, so let's do that next.
Ooh.
Looking down, div output. So print result to output.
Can you go back up and show us line 40, please? The whole thing.
That's the problem with bumping up the font. Yeah.
Ooh.
There's other ways to write this. I'm just going with something that seems easy to me. Does it make sense to you? I'm going to see the word 20s followed by the number of $20 bills we're giving back. All right? Okay, now I want this to show up somewhere, so I've got a little work to do. Let's see. Var div output gets document dot get element by ID. Div output. Div output dot inner HTML gets result, whatever that was. How comfortable are we? Can we save it?
Don't leave yet. Hang on, no, wait.
I feel so important with everybody copying.
Should there be a space between div output and label?
There is.
No,
After
variable.
Oh, yeah, it can be. Yeah, it can be. Yeah. Fat fingers. It's not going to really end up hurting anything, but sure, let's make it look nice. There's no magic here, right? Even these two lines, where did they come from? I knew I have a thing called div output. I know I have a variable called result. I know that that's how I put the value of result into something called div output.
And is that variable div output, we're in our initial brackets, we're in our big nest,
On your what?
it doesn't have its own bracket, so we're in our first and last bracket there.
Oh, yeah.
What's that? Line 44?
Okay, I'm worried that you're copying my code. Why would I be worried? Okay, good. Well, of course there'll be something. There's no doubt.
Why would I copy this?
But it's not about having the right code. It's about understanding the process. And so, again, the code is good, but, you know, there's a real good chance I'm wrong.
So you end the if before you print out the results because you're done with the if statement.
I could have done it either way, but the reason I did it this way is I don't want to have to do this part twice. Right? I know that regardless what happens with the if statement, I'm going to have a result variable, and I only want to print that one time, right? If I actually do the printing inside the if statement, I got to do two different prints. I'm lazy. Remember why I said I like elegant? So I think it makes more sense to just do the result wherever and then one time print it out. I think that makes my life a little easier, because if I screw it up, I only screw it up in one place. I don't like repeating code if I don't have to. Do you think we should be able to test this? I think we can test it. I think we've got enough to test. Do I think it's going to work?
95%.
I'm going to give it 50-50 odds, but I'm feeling good.
I had more faith in you.
Quit sucking it, bro.
Okay, let's talk about our test
Yeah,
plan.
like my grade depends on it here.
What would be a really good thing to check on? What would be good numbers to start with?
I'm still back on just changing the color on the.
Okay, why would that be good?
Because they're even ones.
Because we know that should give us exactly 5 $20 bills. That's a really great thing to test, isn't it? Something real obvious. Or and that should give us 4 $20 bills, because it's. Or how about something even easier?
That's just
The
gonna-
cost is 20,
the cost
and we
is-
paid them 21.
Where's our output gonna go?
Oh, wherever. I haven't marked it as such, but do you think it's there somewhere?
Why would you pay them 21?
Because this has nothing to do with reality. This has to do with testing my code. Why did I say 21, not 20?
How about 20,
So if
50?
there,
Because
it's
there
not
would be no
negative.
remainder.
Because, well, I don't care about the remainder. Here's what I want to know. I know that we weren't so certain about it being exactly the right cost. What happens with 0, right? I want to know that I paid him at least enough that it's going to do the calculation. Yeah? Which is
We don't have
21.
anything divided or like defined for ones or anything.
Yeah.
We haven't worried about that. All I want to know right now is, can it tell me how many 20s I should be getting back?
Yeah. You
I
have-
should be getting back 120. That's the simplest way of thinking of this I can. Yes?
No, you're not gonna get any 20s. If it costs, yeah.
Oh, that's right, that's right,
You're gonna
okay.
get $1 back.
Okay, we'll pay him 41. Fine.
Nice try.
Could you just do 40?
Yeah.
Because we haven't defined anything for ones yet. So
I
if
just
you guys
want
come
to
up
see.
I'm just doing it. Let's go.
Let's go with 18 and see.
Wait! Stop!
And see you're a loser.
Stop!
Loser.
Stop! What should we be reacting to? We should be dancing in joy. We were spending a lot of time worrying about our test case. I just did it.
Mine doesn't work.
Let's take 30.
I don't care.
But just make sure you understand.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. Can we make it work?
Oh, sure.
Absolutely. Did we do something absolutely mind-numbingly stupid wrong?
Yes.
Sure. Can we find it? Sure we can. The real point is not that. The real point is, can we get to solving a problem like this? And has our process been working, assuming that you've typed it as often as I have and didn't make one of those silly mistakes?
I made one of those silly mistakes.
You're gonna make those silly mistakes. Don't let that derail the rest of it. Don't let that derail everything else.
Can we have that dollar signs and .002?
Yeah, how come I'm not concerned about that right now?
Yeah.
I got a lot of other things to worry about. That is fuzzy dice. Let's run this engine. Let's test another thing. What happens if I don't pay them enough?
$18. It comes up, you're a loser.
It should say we're a loser. I hope it does. I pay them nothing. It costs 20. You loser. I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try some other options. It cost 20. We paid 100. What should we see?
Lots. More.
420. So I'm feeling good. That's right. It should be $80. That should be 420. So I'm feeling great about things. Yeah.
Well.
What about? Well, I'm great about what we've done so far. I'm not worried that the stuff I haven't done isn't happening. All I'm testing is the stuff that I'm pretty sure should work. Let's try this one, 20 and 20. Okay, we shouldn't get any 20s back. I'm feeling good about that.
You're 100%.
So the stuff that we know that we've tested seems to be working okay. Are we feeling good about that? And are you okay with the fact that it's not handling the other stuff yet? Right, because now that we know how to do 20s, we can apply this knowledge to other things and go much, much farther. And that's what we're doing next.
Can you come and like?
No, because if I do that, what's going to happen to the other 21 people?
You're going to get...
They're going to get nowhere. Here's what I'll do. Next time we break, I'll stop and I'll help you debug it, but I'm not going to make
Actually,
everybody
all you have
sit.
to do is share what you've got, and I'll be able to figure it
Yeah,
out.
I'll give you my... You can have my code. You can always have my code. I'm never going to hide it from you.
I get that. I just don't want to fall behind because
Right.
that's when I get.
But you're going to see this, if you teach this too, you're going to see the same thing. You'll be tempted to want to try and have everybody caught up, which means you're going to have people doing who knows what.
After you've done it, you can give us the code. We can tweak it.
Sure, I'll give you the code. You can have it, you can improve it. I'll always give you the code.
We can tweak it for you.
Sure. Okay, can we finish the algorithm?
Yes.
Go for it. Can everybody focus on that? Help me finish this algorithm.
Please.
Don't worry about the fact that your code's not 100%. I promise I'll help you get it there. But that's not what we're worried about right now. We want to get this one working. That seems so harsh and mean. But really, it's loving. Okay, so now what do we think about? How many tens? How hard is this?
So above our end if.
Yeah, because I'm still in the place where we're thinking about the money. All right? We're thinking about how much return. We figured out how many 20s we owe. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
At this point in my logic. Now I want to think about how many 10s. And that sounds terrifying, but how different is it than what we've already done with 20s?
None.
None. Now here's where most of you would be tempted to copy and paste. Watch me copy and paste.
What do you mean? I would copy and paste.
I know. Right.
I'm a copy and paste.
Wait a minute. What kind of copying and pasting was I doing?
Looking at it and typing it.
Boom, I'm done. Why didn't I copy and paste?
Does it take just as long
Because
as
I
it
never mean exactly the same thing. You're right. Well, go ahead. What were you going to say?
might take just as long to go back and change the variables?
Because the real problem is it's not exactly the same. The real problem is it's a little bit different. And I need to spend the time thinking about what's a little bit different. And honestly, copying and pasting makes me think it's the same, which I know it's not.
So now do we need to type result again, or
Do we?
because we want to know how many
Mhm.
times in that?
We could if you want to. We could add it to result. Yeah, that's a great idea.
instructor says you should do little rather than big.
Right, I like that. So let's do tens. This time I'm gonna do result plus equal y.
No?
Because we're adding to the result that's already in existence.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm not feeling good enough, maybe I could do some copying and pasting? You okay with that?
What's the BR?
Right.
PR gives a carriage return just so the output
Okay.
looks better.
Right.
We could test this now if you want, or we could just keep going. I'm gonna keep going.
Thank you.
So now the only thing really
Fives,
we're changing
ones.
is the names and numbers, like the.
Times. Yeah, now I'm just changing values. So now we'll think about it. Tens. First thing I'm gonna change is my comments. Fives. Ones.
Did you say it wasn't ever?
Quarters.
Did you just cut and paste that and
I
then?
did.
Okay.
Dimes. But notice the first thing I'm changing is my algorithm.
Right.
Did you finish it?
Nickels and pennies is a little different. Okay, so now I've gone through and I've thought through how these other things change. So tens, these are now 1000s. For fives, the first thing I'll do is change this variable to fives. That number shouldn't be 1000 anymore. What should it be? 500. That's the number of pennies in a 5. What should that number be? 500. Is this still 2? Yeah, then that tens becomes 5s, and that 10 becomes 5s. Okay, ones make me happy. How do I deal with ones? Okay, now this should say ones. Okay, quarters. What do we do here? Will we ever see more than 4 quarters? In fact, will we ever see 4 quarters?
No, you should say
No.
$1.
Right, because at this time, the number should be smaller than $1. So do gets do mod 25. Quarters. Quarters. Dimes. How do we do with dimes?
10.
I'm only expecting 1 or 0.
Oh, and this one, right here.
Ah, what did I miss?
Down. Don't you have to change that, dude? The percentage?
Where?
Right above.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope.
Down.
Mine down.
Oh,
That
take that one. Am I likely to make a mistake here?
Yeah, because
Sure.
you're changing a lot of stuff really fast.
And how much am I worried about that?
Not at all.
No, I don't.
You seem to be pretty confident.
There are some other ways of doing this, but
Fives.
oh, not fives, nickels, nickels,
Yeah,
nickels,
nickels.
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 Good grief.
Thank you. I contributed.
Yes, you did, and you should be proud.
I My grade keeps going up.
You are busting the curve right now.
It's been busted.
Okay, and then here's an interesting thing. Pennies is just what's left over due after we've taken care of everything else. So we can just do this line.
So we don't have to do the do equals do like the.
No, because
Modifier.
there's really no need at
Nothing
this
left.
point. We're gonna have less than 4 cents.
But it doesn't have to be a variable?
Yeah, well, yeah,
So wouldn't you be a bar?
yeah. Or also, I could actually just not even do pennies and just put due in there.
Well, I think if you're gonna do it, you must go right.
Might as well do it. Okay,
You've done
how do
it.
we feel? Let's back this bus up a little bit.
Drive over the dirt.
We wrote a heck of a lot of code there.
Well, you did.
We're a team. If you just came in and saw this, you'd be like, dang. Right? Okay, yeah. Does it make sense how we got there? I'm not asking you to accept that you could have done every step without any help. That's okay. Because this is your first pass, it's not mine. But I'm asking you to say, do you get that this concept with some practice, you could do this? With some practice and a lot of mistakes and sometimes frustration, you can get to this. And that's pretty exciting. Let's see if we can run this. Boy, I'm going to say 40% chance of this one working.
I'm 85.
85. I really appreciate your. Okay, let's say that it cost $12.34 and we paid $50. Why did I choose that? Because I've used that one before. I am feeling very happy. Let's do the math.
We should have a penny.
Yeah.
Am I missing a penny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm missing a penny. Okay, can we fix that?
You have 2 quarters.
Yeah, because you didn't
Oh, yeah,
change
you're
the, you would
good.
have to do the,
Yeah, something went wrong on the pennies. How much are we concerned about that? It matters. But how happy are you that it didn't crash harder than that? I am pretty dang happy that we got this far. Do we still need to tweak it? Of course we do. And I think I know where the problem went. You know where I'm expecting the problem to be?
In your pennies.
In my conversion to integer. Because floating point numbers always have round-off error, and so I think I probably incorporated that round-off before I didn't change it.
So we should have had that modular thing, or?
because if we put modular in, it would have worked.
Oh, no, I don't think that made a difference. No, I think that my mistake happened much, much earlier, and I can prove that. I think my mistake happened before I did any of the modulus calculations. I think my mistake happened at the very first pennies did, is what I'm guessing. Let's see if I'm right. Because what should we do? Total.
Everything's right but 1 penny, right?
Well, yeah.
And we needed at least.
Yeah, 37.66, you got 37.64.
Okay, so let's look at it. Here I'm going to do this.
What's your, okay, so you're in if. Should go. I probably.
So what I do here,
That's closing function.
Ah.
so how have I changed things?
This is closing.
You.
I'm going to have it tell me how much is due beforehand so I can do quick math before I do all the other stuff. And find out, was my mistake? Where was my mistake? Was my mistake in calculating how much was due in the first place or through these other operations? Because there's lots of places it could have gone wrong. I think it was early, and we'll prove that. Or not. What did I do at 50? Aha,
3,765.
is that correct?
No.
I was off by 1 there. Do you see why I made that, why I did that test? because there were a lot of calculations going on, and which one of them could have been wrong? Any of them, but what did I do by testing the earliest one? I proved that that's where we went wrong. So now I'm not worried about the stuff I was scared of. Now I'm worried about, I probably made some stupid round off error. And can we find that and fix it? Sure we can. And how often does this sort of stuff happen? All the time.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it should have been 3766. So now all I gotta do is find that, fix it, and so when I get 3766 on this one, I should be good. And by the way, I've given this as an assignment. I will still give you an A- for being off by 1 penny. Not an applause. But how much of this problem did we solve? The vast amount. Now, if you're working for a bank and you do this, they'll fire you. But for where we are right now, the goal isn't to make a change maker. The goal is to, wow, we've built an app. Would you agree? We actually have built an app. We can do that web thing, boom, we built an app. It's not pretty. It's not elaborate, but we can build it. That's a pretty big deal. Let's solve this thing. Who's got an idea?
And what's wrong?
You tell me what's wrong. That's the hard part.
So it's something you said in the, multiplied or convert?
Mm-hmm.
So it's something with our convert do to integers.
Yeah.
So the do equals parse integer do times 100.
I think I'm gonna change the way I do this part. Let's see if that helps.
Can you enlarge that just a little bit?
Sure.
My old eye, that's thinking.
Okay, I have an idea. I think that let's try adjusting when we do the conversions to see if that helps. Because I have a feeling it will. So I'm going to try something here. You see if this makes some sense. Paid gets parse int paid times 100. Cost gets parse int cost times 100. And now do gets paid minus cost. So what did I change in my logic? I converted the values first before I did the subtraction. Last time I did the subtraction and then converted the values. Could you acknowledge that that could make the difference knowing there's round off error possibilities? Yeah, let's see if this gets us closer. I think logic-wise, this is now going to be an int, so I don't have to convert it before elsewhere. Let's see if that helps. Please work. Programming clerk. That's a big hairy deal. Yeah? That's a big hairy deal. Now, how do you feel? You feel, okay, Andy, you did a nice job. But it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me. Now, I can help you get to the place where whatever little things are getting in the way, we can fix them. But those aren't the big deal. The big deal is, do you see how we can make a plan for solving a complex problem and at least get your code close? That's a huge deal. Now, the last 10% is 50%. That's when you're trying to figure out why the sucker doesn't work. And we get there, but you get there only with practice. What we're doing now is let's make sure we can do the first 90% is can I get close to making a program that solves the problem? And the answer is, yeah, we just did. Isn't that cool? I'll put links to this on Moodle so you can take it, you can download it, you can improve it. But here's my real suggestion. Wait a few days. Wait a couple weeks. Come back, try to solve it again. Okay? Don't look at my code. Try to solve it again. It'll be fine if you don't get it. Just try to do it because the process has value.